Every night, there's between 6,000 and 9,000 kids that go to sleep in Lorain County in something other than a proper bed. Many of them never even know what that is. And we've got the resources and the vision to get the next kid to bed.
Welcome to episode 81 of the LorainCounty.com Insights podcast. I'm your host, Ed Skimmon. This episode is made possible thanks to the generous support of our champion sponsors, Lorain County Commissioners, Lorain County Community College, Emerge Inc., Community Foundation of Lorain County, Lorain County JVS, and WOBL Radio. Today, we're talking with Roger Dorsey, founder and president of Good Nights. Join us as Roger talks about the nonprofit's mission to provide beds to underserved children, veterans, and seniors in Lorain County. He shares his personal journey that inspired the creation of Good Nights, the impact the organization has had since its founding in 2020, and the ongoing need for volunteers and community partners. Roger's story behind founding Good Nights is both deeply personal and powerfully inspiring. His own childhood experience of not having a bed gave him a first-hand understanding of the challenges so many children in our community still face. What began as a response to that memory has grown into a mission that has provided thousands of beds to kids, veterans, and seniors across Lorain County. The work of Good Nights shows how something as simple as a bed can transform a life, helping children succeed at school, restoring dignity for families, and reminding us of the impact that passion and community can have. Here is my conversation with Roger Dorsey.
My name's Roger Dorsey. I'm the founder and president of Good Nights.
Welcome, Roger. Thanks for joining us and sharing your insights. Could you provide an overview of Good Nights and your role with the organization?
Good Nights is a local nonprofit here in Lorain County. We build and provide beds to underserved children, also to veterans and seniors. We just started that back in May, but our mission is to end child bedlessness here in Lorain County and as far reaching as we can do that.
Can you share the story behind Good Nights, how it came to be? What was the need in the community you were responding to, and why did you believe this was the right solution?
The starting Good Nights actually came out of a personal situation, go back circa 1980. My mom left West Virginia fleeing domestic violence, and we moved into the east side of Elyria with my aunt. She had 3 kids. My mom had 4 kids and a 1,000 square foot, 3-bedroom house, those little ranches there on the east side in Elyria. And for those first 3 years, my bed was a pile of clothes in the closet. Kids are resilient. I was resilient. Hey, we're camping out. But it takes a toll, especially when you're trying to get up and get involved in a new school and all of those things. Moving forward, my wife and I have been blessed. Our children have never had to sleep on the floor. They've chosen to sometimes, but they've never had to. And we had an opportunity to join a national organization in 2018, and we did, and stepped away from them in 2020 to start Good Nights so that we could keep all of our funding here in Lorain County. I knew there was a need, but I couldn't fathom the number of children that were just without a bed. Since 2020, when we started Good Nights alone, we've provided over 4,500 beds to kids here in Lorain County. Some in Cuyahoga, but not many.
How do you find those who need beds?
They find us. For example, we'll go out and deliver beds. We have teams that go out every Wednesday. A lot of retired men and women work with us, and they meet here every Wednesday about 9:30, and they go out and deliver beds. And as soon as the recipients get beds today, they're going to tell their neighbors and their family and everything, and we'll get 3 or 4 new requests. We go out on the 3rd Saturday of every month, and we do 50 to 75 beds. By the next Saturday, we'll have 35 to 50 new bed requests. But we also get requests from school teachers, from social workers, children's services, foster care. We get them from churches. We get them from grandparents, aunts, uncles, neighbors. We don't have to advertise. People ask me, how's business going? I said, unfortunately, it's going good. We always have 125 to 175 kids on our waiting list.
How do the requests get to you?
We have a website, goodnightsoflc.org, and on that is a bed request. People go on there, they punch in their zip code. If we serve that zip code, then they're able to fill out a bed application. Right now, we only serve the zip codes within Lorain County. The only exception to that is there's a portion of Vermilion that's in Lorain County and part in Erie County. It's one zip code, so it goes all the way out far west, and so that zip code's not open. But we have delivered beds to children in need. They're in the Lorain County side of Vermilion. But all of that comes to our website. Then when that request is approved, the requester gets an email back saying that we've received your request. It'll take 6 to 8 weeks for us to get you a bed. And that's about our average.
Without revealing names, can you share a story that illustrates the difference Good Nights can make in a child's life?
We had a social worker contact us. We send out a questionnaire quarterly just to poll our parents and the folks that made the request. And a social worker shared with us one of his clients was a 10-year-old little girl. She didn't have her own bed. She was having to sleep with a sibling who was 3 or 4, still wet the bed. So the girl didn't want to go to bed at night. And when she did, she went to bed late. She got up late. She often got up smelling like urine without a chance to take a shower before she got on the bus, and she was being bullied at school. He reported that since we gave them the bed, the girl is excelling in school. She wants to go to school. She goes to bed on time. She gets up. She never misses the bus. And I tell our volunteers, there's kids out there that are experiencing things that we can't even fathom. 85% of parents have said that their kids are excelling or doing much better in school since receiving a bed.
Let's talk about volunteers. What role do they play with Good Nights, and how can people get involved in a meaningful way?
Good Nights are our lifeline. We have 2 part-time employees, and that's myself and our bookkeeper. Everybody else here is volunteer. Last year, we had probably 2,500 volunteers volunteer over 10,000 hours of their time. And that's to come in and build beds. That's to come in and deliver beds. That's come in to unload and cut lumber. That's a huge blessing. The sign-up process is very simple. Again, you go to our website, click on the volunteer tab. There's a link in there that says register as a volunteer. You put your name, address, phone number, email. We don't contact you. You set all of that up, and then you're able to log into our volunteer portal. And you can see all of the dates and times and activities we got going on, whether it's a bed build or bed delivery.
Are there opportunities for like corporate groups or student groups?
Absolutely. We always have corporations in. Actually, in the next 3 weeks, we'll have Ford Motor Company. They're sponsoring 100 beds. Their employees are going to come in and build the beds on one day, and then they're going to come back and help us deliver those beds on another day. We've worked with a lot of the corporations here in Lorain County. Nordson, we've done big builds with them. E81, we've worked with them. We have a young lady coming in a couple of weeks to do her Eagle Scout project. She's raising money and getting donations. Her and her troops going to come in, and they're going to build 50 beds with us. And then they're going to come back and they're going to help us deliver those beds. But we've had volunteers from 4 years old to 94 years old. So there's something for everybody to do. Young kids often come in and they're really excited and they stand for a little bit and they get tired and they just want to go get something to drink, but they always enjoy it.
I know collaboration is important in this kind of work. Who are some of your key community partners?
Many that collaborate with us with donors. One of the latest collaborations that we've gotten into is with Lorain County Office on Aging, partnering with them to provide beds to our ever-growing senior population. And also Lorain County Veteran Service Commission. They fully funded 50 beds to go into Valor Home. We had a group of young Marines from Cuyahoga County come out, and they actually helped us deliver the beds. The property that we're sitting on right now, the city of Elyria donated it to us. This entire 5 acres outside of the property here, they donated it to us. They sold it to us for $1, but when we had the grand opening, Mayor Brubaker gave me the $1, so we're square. But the list is long. Lorain Correctional Institution, the inmates out there build beds for us. Grafton Correctional, the inmates out there build beds for us. We partnered with Elyria Rotary and District 6600 Rotary last year to do a big bed build. We actually went to Sandusky and brought in the entire district. I think there was like 13 Rotary clubs that came together and really showed up, and we built 50 beds and we left those beds out there. There's a group out there in Erie County that's actually delivering those beds for us and for the Rotary. But we're working with the Kiwanis in Wellington, the Masonic Lodge, the Eagles on a big collaboration project coming up. We'll be down in Wellington building 100 beds.
How is Good Nights funded? What are your different sources of support?
Mom and pop sitting down and just write us a check. That's where we get a majority of our money. We do apply for and get grants, and the grant foundations here in Lorain County have been tremendous. But I would say probably 60+% of what we get is just people seeing us. We had a family that runs Gerhardt Gardens in North Ridgeville. They have an annual family fundraiser, and they selected us as their organization this year. And so they got together and contacted us and said, hey, we want to do this. Can we do it? We said, absolutely. So they raised over $7,000 for us. There's a lot of times that we get checks in the mail, people we don't even know. People see our mission. They get on board with it. And I tell people that people will help us second only to helping puppies. I said, if we made puppy beds, the kid's bed and the puppy bed, then we could corner the market, I think now. But I understand that it takes a lot of collaboration. We work with Save Our Children, and we're doing the same thing. We're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to help our children. We're trying to get them a better education. We're trying to get them a good night's sleep. And so I don't look at any other nonprofit here that we're competing. We're trying to do the same thing. And I've got my passion. The folks that work at Save Our Children have their passion. The folks that work at Neighborhood Alliance have theirs. And we all do work together. Last year, we were gifted about 400 beds from Oberlin College. They were putting in new furniture. So we sent some to Cleveland to CMHA. We sent some to Neighborhood Alliance. They were in the process of building their new shelter. It takes a village. And as a nonprofit, we can't be an island out here unto ourselves.
How do you define success at Good Nights? What are the metrics and outcomes that are important to you and your team?
Success is one smile at a time. We get parents that call us all the time and say, I can't get my kid out of the bed now. It gives them a safe space. And you see some of the conditions that the kids are living in when we get there. It's not their fault. And tell everybody when they come through those doors, I don't care if you're black, white, orange, purple, pink, Republican, Democrat, socialist, communist. If you can help us help kids, you're welcome. If not, you can leave the same way you came. We're not here for any kind of platform or anything. I'm not going to let you use my kids. I call them my kids as a platform to promote anything. We're here to help kids, and that's what we want to do. But when we see the kids, their smiles, and many of them are getting to bed for the first time, and they come up and ask, how much do we owe you? Or we can't pay you. There's been 100 hands just about, as I figured out, from the time we order the lumber and they pull it and they pack it and they stack it and they deliver it and we cut it and sand it and put it together. Time it gets to the kid, there's been over 100 sets of hands touch that bed, and every bit of it is volunteer. And we set Good Nights up specifically that way. I'm retired. I pastor a church in South Amherst. I do this in my free time. But we set up Good Nights so that we could be sustainable out of the gate.
How do you envision the future of Good Nights in the next 5 or 10 years?
We've got a succession plan for myself to be able to bring on a full-time executive director. We also have some plans, some discussions ongoing with the state of Ohio to try and take what we're doing at Grafton and Lorain Correctional, take that model and broaden it out throughout the Department of Corrections, the youth facilities, as well as the adult correction facilities, to be able to replicate what we're doing inside the prisons at other areas, and then take those beds and actually deliver them to people in that area. If we were going to Indian River in Massillon and the kids down there were building beds, then we find a delivery partner there in Massillon that can take those beds and say, we'll get them to the kids here. And we've actually had inmates at Lorain Correctional come up to us and say, my kids are sleeping on your beds. You've been to my house. Now it's my turn to build these. And so we've gotten a good response. Again, we're meeting with our state representative, state senator, to be able to try and figure out the logistics of all of it. In the next 5 or 10 years, in a perfect world, every Department of Corrections facility that's not at a certain security level that can be building beds will be building beds. And each one of them will be building 1,000 beds a year minimum. There's 11 million people in the state of Ohio. The general number that we use is 2 to 3% of that, of the general population, are kids 3 to 18 that don't have a bed. It's astronomical. 70, 80,000 beds minimum. Kids continue to grow out of that. Kids continue to move into this. I would like to be able to see 8,000, 10,000 beds a year going out. And again, not that Good Nights has to have the credit, because I don't want the credit. We just want kids in their own beds.
Let's switch over and talk about you. What's your background?
I grew up in Elyria, graduated from Elyria West High School in 1988. Had no direction, zero direction in life out of high school. And it was either hang drywall or go in the military. So I went in the Marine Corps. Joined the Marine Corps in 1988. Was in there for 7 years. During that time, I was a military police officer and a presidential security specialist. I worked at Marine One, HMX One, green white helicopters that the president rides on. Security for the physical helicopter, not security for the president, but a presidential security specialist. Worked there for 4 years with President Bush Sr. and then first 2 years of President Clinton's terms. And then I spent a year at the Pentagon working with the Joint Chiefs of Staff, doing security there. Got out of the Marine Corps in 95 and went to Bible college. And I've been a Baptist pastor since. Pastored 4 different churches. Been at the church I'm at in South Amherst now for going on 5 years. The initial push towards getting into what we're doing now in 2018, we had left the church in Valley City, and I saw a thing that Mike Rowe was doing on Facebook called Returning the Favor. They were doing a show, an episode on the national group. So we ended up going to Twin Falls, Idaho. And when we got done watching it, my wife says, we're not talking about this for 2 weeks. We didn't talk about it, but I had airline tickets and hotel reservations. So I told her on day 15, hey, I'm going to Idaho Wednesday and I'll be back Sunday. I said, you didn't say I couldn't do anything. You said we couldn't talk. So I think at the time we'd been married for 30 plus years, learned to game the system a little bit after 30 years of marriage. But I went out there, got the training, brought it back. And it's just been, since 2018, when we started with the national organization, we've never had less than 75 kids on our waiting list. It's just unreal, the need. And a lot of times we see folks We're not there to judge parenting skills or whether they should have this or shouldn't have that. Instead of a bed, we're there to give the kids a bed. We ask 2 questions. Does the kid live there? If they do, they have a bed. If they don't, then we provide them a bed.
In the time since you founded Good Nights, what are you most proud of accomplishing?
Getting the last kid that we delivered to bed this morning a bed. There's always one more. And sometimes we can get weary in well-doing, but there's still a lot of kids out there. Every night there's between 6,000 and 9,000 kids that go to sleep in Lorain County in something other than a proper bed. Many of them never even know what that is. And I would say getting the last kid to bed and knowing that we've got the resources and the vision to get the next kid to bed.
How would you describe your leadership style? What are the principles that guide you and what influences your approach to leadership?
I have to choke back my Marine Corps leadership skills a lot, but I would have to say that I try to lead by example. I'm not going to ask folks to do something that I've not already done or show them how to do. I don't sit back and wait on the people, but I guess my motto is lead, follow, or get out of my way, because we're going forward. There's just no option. When we finish the building here, we're setting in a $1.6 million building that's paid for, and how that got paid for in 18 months. Only the Lord knows that. And I didn't call people and ask them for money. People were calling me to ask me, hey, how much do you need? Okay, we'll send you some. Working side by side with all of our volunteers. There's not many days that something's going on here that my wife and I aren't here. My board said, hey, if we got this succession plan to hire an executive director, what's their job description? I said, simple, everything. You just do what needs done. And if there's people here to help you, great. If there's not, it still needs to get done.
Outside of Good Nights, what's your hobbies and interests and how do they help recharge you?
I enjoy hunting. I'm actually going to Maine bear hunting, first time bear hunting, but I enjoy deer hunting, I should say. I enjoy going sitting in the woods. I went up to the property that I deer hunt and just walked along the Vermilion River, and there's just no noise up there. It's the water, it's the wind. You have an occasional horn or something like that, but I'm thankful that I can go there and not be still worried about what's going on here. There are enough people here that are in place that I don't have to worry about here. I can pick up and go hunting. I can pick up and go on vacation. But spending quiet time with my family, with my wife and I built our own house. We started right in the middle of the pandemic. We sold our house, built a small 700 square foot house down in Wellington, and that's our forever home. So we just tinker with that and chase our dogs. So
finally, where can people get more information about Good Nights and connect with you?
goodnightsoflc.org, Good Nights with a K, good K-N-I-G-H-T-S of lc.org. And then the fact that we're always in need of volunteers. If you've got a group that wants to come in that second Tuesday, third Saturday. If you're a business corporation that wants to sponsor a bed build, you can contact us. We got a lot of the companies that have come in. I've already rescheduled for next year, but we're always looking for corporate partners that want to come in, not only donate, we'll take your money, but I'd sooner have you come here and see what we're doing and then come out and help us deliver beds and then make that decision whether or not you want to donate. And I tell people, if you don't want to donate after that, I'll just tell people how much you don't like kids. So yeah, my wife says I'm passive aggressive. I'm not even sure I know what that means. You can email us, call us. The information's right there on the website, or you can email me at roger@goodnightsoflc.org.
Thank you, Roger, for joining us, the work that you do, and sharing your insights.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the LorainCounty.com Insights Podcast. Each episode, we share conversations with the people shaping life in Lorain County, from business and government to education, nonprofits, healthcare, and entertainment. Be sure to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. You can also visit LorainCounty.com to discover local events, volunteer opportunities, and more community resources. If you know someone who's making a difference in Lorain County, send us a note at podcast@LorainCounty.com. We would love to share their story and insights. Special thanks to our producer, Leah Gerke, and to you for listening. This has been the LorainCounty.com Insights Podcast, conversations with the people shaping Lorain County.